What's going on, YouTube? This is Roger here. I'm back with another aquarium. I don't even know what to say how I got here. I kind of just had some troubles with my 65-gallon, and it's kind of back on the upswing, doing really well. So it kind of motivated me to get my own tank going back where I live. So my 65-gallon is in Illinois with my parents, who are taking wonderful care of it, and it's rebounding nicely after a couple years of just it being cursed. But it's finally coming back. You know, we got a big refugium on it now. We got a nice skimmer on it now, a bigger skimmer on it now. So it's really doing a lot better. But it also motivated me to get my own system so I can kind of come back to creating content and that kind of stuff on YouTube. I miss taking pictures. I miss just having a piece of the reef in my house. So here's my first video back. If you guys notice, there's a big glass box here. This is the Innovative Marine INT 75-gallon with their aluminum stand. So I went with this tank purely because I loved the dimensions. It was pretty decent price, and originally there's a whole story about how I ended up with an INT, not an EXT, but I won't get into that today. I'm not blaming anyone, but I should have had an EXT, but I ended up with an INT. We'll just leave it at that. So basically, I'm gonna try and do an SPS dominant mixed reef, but I'm gonna have some challenges to deal with. I live in Wyoming, where there's not a very active reef keeping community. There's a few people in town, but honestly, I don't think they're keeping anything crazier than zoanthids and just saltwater fish. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I will be doing a lot more risk management with this aquarium than I've done with any other one. I'll be doing fish and coral quarantines just because it's going to take me a lot of effort to get coral and fish here. Like, I can't just run down to the fish store and ask them to order me something. I have to look for it and order it and take the best possible steps in order to make sure I don't lose it, because it's not like, well, I'll just go get another one, right? I also don't have a dedicated reef aquarium store, so if something goes wrong, I need to be able to react to it. Like, say, a pump dies, I need to have a backup. If a heater dies, I need to have a backup. If my fish gets ick, I need to have the Melafix and all those methylene blue and ick X and all those additives and treatments and problem solvers on hand to be able to react quickly, because there's no waiting 5 days when I have ick, or there's no waiting 5 days when I have brook or anything like that. So I need to have a plan for literally every single thing. And that's kind of what I've been doing in the last couple of weeks, is going through every single thing. How am I going to implement this tank safely and efficiently? And something that I will hopefully reduce the risk to. It's never going to be 100%. I would never be able to yep, this tank will be flawless. I won't get ick. I won't get aptasia. I won't get parasites. I won't, get this. I won't get that. It's inevitable. It's probably going to happen at some point, but I want to be able to react and respond quickly. And hopefully the steps I show you guys and kind of what I've learned and kind of what I've been teetering around with kind of help you guys along the way if you're in a similar situation. I think this tank has a pretty unique challenge in the fact that I'm probably the only one in this town that's going to have a reef tank, a full-blown reef tank. There's no active forum members here. There's no active Facebook page. There's nothing. It's just fish keeping society or aquarium society of this town. And it's not very active. So we shall see. Hopefully I can spark some active members and then create a little community here. I think that would be really cool. I already got some of my coworkers interested. They're already like, can I pick out fish? Can I pick out coral? Like, how does it work? So it'll be cool that way. Okay, but I do want to give you a little bit of an overview of the tank that I got here before we go into kind of my plans. I'm not going to go in depth over the equipment. I'm going to do that in a separate video. I have some plumbing coming Friday, so I'm going to go over my manifold design on when that comes. But I just want to do a little bit of an overview of the tank It came with this top, which I think is super cool. And the biggest thing, I don't know if this is intentional or just random, but I like that you can slide it back just a little bit and then do whatever you need to do, drop some food in there, or, you know, take a water sample and then slide it right back. The only downside is the reason it has that ability is because the overflow box is not covered. So we shall see. What I might do is boost, like maybe super glue or kind of temporarily attach something here on the outsides and hold up another piece of polyethylene or acrylic or something. That way I still keep this ability for it to slide, but this isn't totally exposed. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't anticipate it being a problem, but it could be. So the cool thing about this tank is it has the default plumbing for Herbie. So it's 3 1-inch drains. So here's the secondary drain, here's the emergency drain, and here's the main drain. The only weird thing about this main drain is it's a really, really big Durso standpipe. I could take it out, but I'll show you guys when I do my plumbing video. It almost goes like, it's the biggest Durso like in-feed spot I've ever seen. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I might change it. I'm not sure. There's the center return line right here, if you guys can see, is 3/4 inch, and that goes straight through the bottom. And back up. So the stand has these magnet click mounts on top and bottom, and the drains will come in from the top. The only weird thing is the center drain is oops. Nope. The center drain is 3/4 inch and it's kind of in the way, so I will be having like this weird little cross thing. Like my return line will probably either go behind the drain lines, probably, because my manifold is going to be mounted up against the wall. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to mount a board that's sealed and epoxied and painted, all that jazz, up against the wall behind that middle piece there. So, and then I'm going to mount the manifold support brackets and drain line, if I can swing it, support brackets to that board. I'll kind of go over that in my plumbing video, but that's kind of the plan there. The internal dimensions of the stand, if you go from the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a lip. Maybe here, this side, you can see there's a lip. If you measure these internal dimensions here, I can fit a 31-inch sump, but if I boost the sump up above that lip, it opens up another 1.5 inches on each side, and I can fit a 34-inch sump. So on the way, I'm being production. It's in production. I got the notification. Is a Synergy Reef CL34 sump that holds 33 gallons. So overall, this tank should be roughly 100 gallons, not including displacement for rock and sand and stuff. It'll probably end up being around 90 gallons. So it still will be probably, it's a little bit smaller than the 65. Since the 65 has a 25-gallon sump and a 30-gallon refugium, that system is a little bit bigger, but it'll be close. I like these dimensions better. The tank is a lot deeper, and it's just a hair shallower. It's 1 inch shallower and 3 inches deeper. So that's really cool. It's going to have some really unique aquascaping capabilities. The only thing is, like I said, I was supposed to get an EXT, so I do lose that little bit of room because of the overflow box. But the overflow box is so sleek that I'm not too worried about it. I like that it's coast to coast. It's a pretty cool tank. Sorry for all the reflections. This tank is like just clear. I don't even know. You can see my gross table and all that kind of stuff. But so aside from that, I kind of want to show you guys the outline. So the sump is going to be underneath, and right behind here, I was debating on putting my my sump and everything in this utility room. It's going to be loud in here. Oh, maybe not. The heater's not running. So this is my really cluttered utility room. I was debating on putting my sump here, but I'm worried that since my heater and my hot water heater and air conditioning unit's all here, it would just suck in salt water and probably destroy this relatively quickly. So back here will be any support that's not saltwater related. So, or not aquarium, not that's not the system related. So I'll have my saltwater mixing station here. I'm gonna get two 35-gallon Norwesco containers. They're either gonna go here or I'm gonna move this and put it here. I'd rather have it here because I have better access to water here. But that'll be a challenge in its own right. Getting some water and drains in this room will likely need to happen, but that is definitely going to be down the road. Yeah, it'll be interesting because my drain line leaves my house above the ground. You can't see there's a big shelf here, but it's not in the floor. I don't have a sump, so I would neither anything I would need to drain. I would need to do something like this, what they did with the air conditioning dehumidifying line. I would need to do something like that and pump it up and down, or I would need to add a lift pump or add a a sink onto this. But you need to have them make sure I have room for the J trap and a vent and all that crazy stuff. So that's a little bit out of my league. Same thing with the electrical. Since I'm assuming that this outlet here is on the same circuit as this stuff, I don't want to add a really power hungry aquarium onto the same circuit. So probably doing a little bit of modifications there, and I'll go over that with you as that happens. But yeah, in this room will be saltwater mixing station. And that's probably about it until I put a sink in. But aside from that, I kind of want to give you, oh, there's my cello. Yeah, play the cello. I think that's it. So I have a bunch of stuff coming Friday for the plumbing. So I'm going to do a video going over my thoughts for the manifold. It's going to be, I don't know, I feel like every manifold I've found uses 1-inch plumbing, and I didn't do 1-inch plumbing, and I'm kind of starting to think maybe I should have, but the return pump that I'm going to use has a 3/4 inch outlet. So I'd have to go up to a 1-inch and then back down to a 3/4 inch. And I just didn't find that worth it, especially with anything I'm going to run off of the manifold isn't going to be an inch. I think that's where my biggest thing is it's really easy to run 3/4 to 3/4, 3/4 to half, 3/4 to 1/4, or something like that. If I ever want to feed, what I'm thinking is carbon GFO, potentially on the same channel, potentially not. Biopellets are a potential, algae turf scrubber are a potential, and eventually, if this gets really SPS stocked, I probably will do a calcium reactor. But I'm going to go over my equipment list when it all arrives. There's some things that are coming later down the line, but this is it. This is kind of a little vlog about my plan on the tank and a little bit of a ramble. So, yeah. Hey guys, Mrkleinreef here. Sorry about that, the very ending of my video got cut off, but I just wanted to kind of end the video and say that I'm really excited to get back into the reefing hobby with you guys and kind of go over my steps along the way. If you guys liked what you saw, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. If you guys want to see anything specifically about the build, I have a pretty extensive list on videos I want to make, and I'm getting in contact with a video editor and that kind of stuff, so it should be kind of cool, this journey. But what I really cut out of that video was go ahead and follow me down on all my social medias down below. I'm active on my Instagram, Facebook, and then I put both of my build threads for this aquarium on my description as well. So the links on Mrkleinreef and Reef to Reef will both be down in the description below. If you guys aren't active members there, or just if you guys are curious about any knowledge or information or resources or anything, those two are two really, really, really great places. They're very low-key, they're very friendly, they're very welcoming, and there's not a lot of gatekeeping, which is really nice. I think this community has a lot of gatekeeping, whether it's intentional or not. I can make a whole video about that, but if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and let me know. I'm excited to get started, and I'm gonna stop boring you guys. See ya.